What's up, everybody? I'm Dio.
And I'm Popo.
And this is Hip Hop Mixing in the Kitchen.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, mixing in the kitchen. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, mixing in the kitchen. Recipes, seasonings, hip hop topic. Reason is we hip hop foodies. Talk good music, cook good foods. Enjoy the show, homies. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, mixing in the kitchen. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Hip hop recipes, seasonings, hip hop topics. The reason is we hip hop foodies. Talk good music, cook good foods. Enjoy the show, homies.
Now, I'm sure all of our subscribers are wondering, why are these two musically inclined artists doing a cooking show? Well, it's for three reasons. Number one, we like to cook. Number two, we like to eat. And number three, each show is inspired by hip-hop lyrics with our own twist on it, along with the discussion. So let's get right into it.
Today, we got a very special meal prepared for you all. But like I said in the intro, we want to inspire our dishes off of hip-hop lyrics. So today's song is It's All About the Benjamins. And the line is from P. Diddy, who said in the song, spaghetti, fettuccini, and veal. So we're gonna do our own little spin on that today. We got some fettuccini and oxtails. We had to prepare our oxtails a little bit earlier because it takes so long to cook. So I'm gonna let Dio explain exactly what he did to prepare the oxtails.
All right, so we start off seasoning our oxtails with our seasoning blend. Seasoning salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. Then we put them in the pan, hot. Want to make sure we turn them on all sides to brown all sides. And then once we do that, we pull those and we add our veggies, which are mushrooms, carrots. We also have some onions, and we use the rest of the seasoning. Then we add our oxtail. Then we add our beef broth along with our beef cube, and we simmer this for 3 hours. Let's go back to the show.
We got our oxtails going. While we got that cooking, since it's gonna take a while, we're gonna go ahead and have our discussion for today. We got a real interesting topic for y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and handle that real quick while we let these oxtails cook. All right, I'll tell you what, we got an interesting topic for today, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. We are going to discuss your top 5. I know you are, hold on, let me just say, I know you are a movie buff, so I know you're gonna like this one today.
Okay.
You and my boy Sean, y'all probably the biggest movie buffs I know. So
Coolio.
we're gonna do the top 5 movie villains and the rap equivalent and why.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you, start off with number 5.
Okay, so for my number 5 people, I'm really going to the Star Wars nerds here because I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I'm gonna go with Palpatine. I know most people won't know who that is, Emperor Palpatine, but he was Darth Vader's boss.
Okay.
And the reason why I picked him was I could relate to Suge Knight for him. He was the one that started a very big thing on the west side, on the west coast, and he was definitely evil in his way, in some ways, to some people, in their opinions. But to me, Suge Knight definitely was like the emperor of what he was doing over there for the record label. That was one that I wanted to pull out of that bag and say, yeah, that was one that Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars, and like I said, Suge Knight. Palpatine was very powerful. He almost killed Darth Vader, very close to it. He actually pretty much killed him. But yeah, that's my number 5.
All right. My number 5 is gonna be Alonzo Harris from Training Day.
Oh, of course.
And the artist that I picked to go along with him is The Game. The comparison that I'm making here is Alonzo played a dirty cop in the movie. But one thing that always jumps out to me about the villain in the movie is what makes him special is you almost want to root for him, even though they're the bad guy. Alonzo being a cop in the movie, and we would associate name dropping with cops. Game does a lot of name dropping, but he is able to rap so well that it just depends on what side you're on. And you can see him as the good guy or the villain, you know what I mean? Because he is so talented and able to rap so well. So
that's a good number 5. Good number 5.
But I'll let you go ahead and get into number 4 on the list.
Number 4, my number 4 all-time villain, man, would have to be Chucky. Just because, you know, as a kid, definitely had me up late. Many a days. And my sister also had the Chucky doll people, which made it worse. A lot worse.
I think we talked about this off camera, but she might be the only person that I know that actually had a Chucky doll. I've never actually seen it with my own eyes.
It was not a good time. It sat in the corner. It was terrible. And I compare that to Jadakiss just because of his demeanor, that laugh, just, you know, it gives you that Chucky face.
Okay.
You know? The way he came through the game, you know, when he started having his own solo projects, was kind of like when Chucky came out. It was a, you know, big hit, something different, something raspy. You know what I'm saying? It was a doll, but it was from a dude that was a killer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's why I compared Chucky to Jadakiss for my number 4.
Ooh, that's very interesting. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into my number 4. I went with Thanos as Rick Ross.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people won't really see exactly how big Ross has gotten over time. He's just one of those people that he always seems to come through. I almost even look at the gems that he had as like being the different things that Rick Ross can give you as far as tracks, because, you know, he can do it all. You know, he's just got a voice and a presence on the mic that he can do it all.
Very interesting. Okay. So I guess that will bring me to number 3.
Yeah.
That would have to be Mike Myers. Never had to run after you, but was always right there. Died a couple times, or changed up, I guess you would call it, a couple times, but came back. I like to call that Snoop Dogg. I compare that to Snoop Dogg just because he's been with a couple labels. You know, he's been platinum pretty much I think every label he went at, and you know, he was with Master P. You know, he was with Death Row. You know, he's been some places. Everywhere he's gone, he's bought his success. And I felt like every time Mike Myers was down, he kept coming back to get you. And I felt like that's that mentality that Snoop brought to the game. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Snoop would be cool with that, with Mike Myers, baby.
I'm gonna throw in too, since you compared the two, that Snoop got a horror film as well. So he definitely would probably.
Oh, yes, he does.
Bones, you know.
Yeah, I remember Bones. Check that out, people.
For my number 3, I'm going with Freddy Krueger. And the rapper that I'm going with as Freddy is Black Thought. Obviously, when you think about Freddy and dreams and how he got into your dreams, I feel like Black Thought is one of those artists that tries to get into your mind. You know, like that's the most important thing to him is the lyricism in what he puts out, you know. So for me, that's just what it was. It was like dream, thought. It just goes together. I can see him, you know, filling that role. And as well, I remember reading an article where Jay-Z was saying that when he was at Def Jam, he didn't want to sign Black Thought to a deal at the time. It's like you on a job and your boss come to you and say like, hey man, you making my other employees look bad. And I'm like, yeah, I can't. So just to point that out to people, it wasn't because he was bad, it was because he thought he would be too good. So that's a villain to me, you know, in a way too.
Okay.
Like y'all know I'm this strong.
Hate to interrupt the conversation, but let me just take a second to give y'all this little drinky drink for the day. All right, I call this one, I'm Just Peachy. We're gonna start off with 1 shot of white rum, 1 shot of peach Ciroc, or you can use mango, a double shot of white peach grape juice, and top that thing off with some Red Bull. Now, back to the discussion.
My number 2 villain of all time would be Freddy Krueger. Even though it was horror films, he did some gruesome things to you in your dreams. It was still fun. He made it very fun to kill people, which is weird. But I compared him to Big Pun because growing up before his untimely demise, R.I.P. The Big Pun, he definitely inspired us a lot. You know, you got my car back in the day, I had that Pun album pumping.
Oh yeah.
So even just
something we enjoyed when you did.
Yeah, it even influenced me to learn Spanish, or at least want to be in Spanish classes. So that's why I compared those two, because that was one of my favorite rappers and one of my favorite characters in the movie. Freddy Krueger definitely is. He used to be number 1, but he's definitely number 2 of all time for me. So
okay, all right. At number 2, I'm going with the Joker, the role that has to be played by Ludacris.
Oh.
Luda was kind of the start as far as the Southern music and the Southern sound is concerned, that really kind of started to push a lot of those party tracks. Mm-hmm. Almost to a point to where when you were talking about artists in the South that had more bars, so to say, like a Wayne, Lil Wayne, you know, there were a few others, he was kind of getting looked at like the Joker, but his accomplishments can't be denied.
You know, people, that leads us to number 1.
Number one. All right.
Number 1 villain. After watching so much stuff now, like I said, I actually moved Thanos up to my number 1 of all time.
Interesting.
Just because, like I said, this man took out some, you know, he had to deal with a lot by himself. He took out a whole clan by himself. He recreated the world. Then they came back to get him again, and he had already done what he had to do. So the person I compared him to was Ice Cube, from having to do so much with NWA, for them to leave him and him to do his own thing, go out and branch off. The music, the movies, the other people he put on to the movies and the music. TV shows and, you know, animation and stuff like that. I felt like that's what made him, to me, the West Coast Thanos.
That brings me to my number 1 as well, and I am going with Jason.
Okay.
Voorhees, as Eminem.
Ooh.
One thing about it is the gauntlet that he had to go through to get on and to get to a position to where he was respected in hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take him out, man. I mean, it don't matter. It's kind of like Jason, man. He's gonna keep coming back. Like he's gonna give you something that is gonna continue to write his name in hip hop history.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot write the story without him.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Very true. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe.
And we want y'all to comment on this video, your list, top 5 movie villains, and the rapper that you associate with them. You don't have to put why, just put your list, but we want to get some interaction with y'all, man. So leave your comments down, leave your list, and make sure you like the video.
But I guess now it's time to go look at what's going on in the kitchen.
Let's see what's going on in the kitchen. So since our oxtails are almost done, it's time to add our fettuccine. So I am going to add our pasta here to the water. It is not gonna take this fettuccine long. Should be about 2 minutes.
And while he's doing that, I'll take some of our good oxtail meat out of here. That has been cooking for about 3 hours. I'm gonna chop this up. All right, we'll do just a little chop on here. As you can see, the meat is nice and tender. We did cook this for about 3 hours, so.
That meat is coming right off that bone too.
And we added beef bouillon cubes, seasoning salt, garlic salt, onion powder. we want to make sure we chop this meat up. We don't have to have it super fine, but you want to have it fine, and we want to take out that fat that's in there as well. We don't want to have too much fat in there. That's there for the flavor. Everybody doesn't want to eat that in their pasta. And this whole time our pasta's just getting ready, because it does take a couple minutes for that. We want to make sure we drop everything in.
That meat looks so tender. Like,
Getting a lot of good meat out of it.
yeah.
There's actually even more that we'll come back and get.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So for this part, we added some veggies into our broth here. So I'm gonna get some of these mushrooms and carrots out and add it to my sauce over here. Get a good amount here. I like mushrooms and carrots, so it's definitely gonna be good once we get all that in there. I am going to take my spoon here and just kind of stir it around.
And while he's doing that,
Just the smells that are coming off of it is
while he's stirring,
making me so hungry right now.
we'll add some of our oxtail.
Yeah, get that good oxtail in there.
Okay.
All right. Just keep stirring it. The pan is already hot. As you can see the steam coming from it. All right, just let everything get hot in there. Simmer for just a second. And now we are going to add some of our noodles to our sauce here. Now, I cooked more than one serving, but I'm just gonna put a few of them in here.
Look at that sauce get all over there, and that sauce will continue to cook those noodles. Those are a little scary. Like I said, it only take these are noodles. It don't take but about 2 or 3 minutes. These are fresh noodles. These are not your box noodles. These are not those. So these do not take long at all to cook all the way through. As you see the mushrooms, you see the onions, the carrots, the fresh Alfredo sauce. And while it's going, while he's still stirring, I'm just gonna put a little bit of fresh parsley.
Oh yeah. Always good to add that green in there. Make our mamas think we eating something even though we're not.
A little pepper.
All right. Stir in there real good.
Turn these off. Make sure we get everything. Now look at that. It's beautiful.
Ooh.
All right, so we want to get a nice.
Looks so cheesy but smooth at the same time. Look at that. Look at that.
And we want to turn until you get your little. And then you want to make sure you get your
A little bit of the veggies on
Make sure you
top.
get your veggies.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
your mushrooms, your carrots.
Even more of that oxtail in there.
All right, and then what we also want to do is come over here, and we want to finish it off with even more oxtail there. You don't want to skimp anybody on the oxtail.
Oh yeah, we gotta make sure we get full now. That's a good amount right there too, man.
And then Parmesan.
And I'm guessing you get ready to put some more of that greenery on top.
And finish it off the good parsley. Now that, people, is oxtail fettuccini.
All right, so now it's time for my favorite part. It's time to eat.
All right, man.
We got here.
Tell these this pasta is fresh. It just falling apart.
Yeah, I was about to say, I actually do want to get some pasta.
Yeah, I know, right? Wow. That's good.
Wow.
That's really good.
Wow. So, our theory has been confirmed. You can use oxtails instead of the veal with fettuccine, Diddy, and just, you know, we're gonna put you on to something new. Use them oxtails next time, because this is amazing.
It's really good. It really tastes everything in there.
Yes, yes, man. Like,
you get the Alfredo, the good taste of the Alfredo. You also get the braising of the oxtail too. So, very good dish. So, we're gonna keep right on munching. But just to let you guys know, as always, make sure you like, share. You know, we always look forward to those things when we make a show.
but also make sure that you comment. Again, for our topic today, we did the top 5 villains and the rappers that compare to them and why. So make sure y'all leave y'all list down in the comment section as well.
Yeah, we want to hear from you guys as well. And also in the description, there'll be the recipe for this and other recipes. Also, there'll be links to the Brotherhood Infinity Media Group music. So always tune into that as well. But we'll see you guys next time.
Y'all next time.
We're gonna keep eating.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good though.
No, that's good.
This nigga.
That good.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, million in the kitchen. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, million in the kitchen.